Houses have been damaged or destroyed, and tens of thousands of people are still living in makeshift homes among the wreckage.
In the past month, UK donors have raised more than £73 million in aid of the victims of the typhoon. That's one of the highest amounts in the 50-year history of the Disasters Emergency Committee.
Well, Sudarshan Satyanayanan is an aid worker who has recently returned from the Philippines. Thank you so much for coming in to talk to us this morning.
You're welcome.
First of all, just tell us what you saw.
I visited two towns. One was Basay in southern Samar and another town in Marabat. What I saw was quite horrendous. Huge damage to infrastructure, loss of lives. People were in a state of shock, and food and water and medical aid was desperately in need. It was a very traumatic time to see all that.
It's almost difficult to imagine the scale of that, isn't it?
Absolutely. We're talking about 1 in 10 Filipinos affected by this disaster. And many of them have now lost their livelihoods. We're talking about 4.5 million people without jobs, no electricity, no clean drinking water, people in desperate need.
And 5,500 people who lost their lives. That toll keeps rising as well, doesn't it, as further bodies are discovered?
Absolutely. And each one of them is a story in itself. I met a lady called Baby Jane, a 23-year-old single mother, and she had lost 2 of her children, one aged 5 and one aged 2. And she was saying that she was holding both of them and the waves just took them away. And she was an orphan herself, and so she said, look, I put all my love into these 2 kids, and it's so sad. She couldn't really explain how much she felt.
Unimaginable, isn't it, to anybody who's a parent?
I know when you were there, you actually took lots of pictures yourself, didn't you? Let's just have a look at what the pictures you brought in to show us this morning. Can you just describe where this is?
This is a town, this is the commercial street in the town of Basay. Basay has a population of about 50,000 people. It's a town by the bay. It's a place where people go as tourists. There's a cathedral there, which was built around the 17th century. So it's quite an important place for the Filipinos. And this was the devastation that I saw there. Utter devastation. The roads filled with debris, glass pieces, nails, wooden planks all over the place. And that's where I met the mayor of Basay, and he was talking about 27 people who died in that town that day.
You just told us one particular very sad story. I'm sure you heard many more, but you yourself feel quite hopeful about the situation there. Why is that?
Absolutely. 2 things really made me very hopeful. One was the Filipinos themselves. They call the kind of spirit that they have, they call it Bayanihan. Bayanihan means a community coming together to help people move on from a current situation. And wherever I went, it was a 1,000-kilometer journey that I took over two days. Wherever I went, on the roads I could see relief trucks. On the ferries I could see people traveling back to their families. In restaurants I saw boxes to raise money. In the streets of Basay and Marabat I saw young people volunteering, cleaning things up. That was a very hopeful thing.
So the aid is getting through?
Absolutely, absolutely. The other bit that I was really hopeful about, and I really enjoyed it, was the international aid coming through. I saw trucks with World Food Programme logos on it. The Red Cross was getting through with aid. The US Marines were bringing aid through in helicopters. Our own organization, Tear Fund, was able to provide food and candles and tin sardines for 1,000 families. So things were beginning to happen within a week of the disaster.
That's good to hear. Sudarshan Satyanayanan, thank you so much for coming in to us this morning.
Thank you very much.